Who will ride the TARDIS to the top spot?
TARDIS. That's time and relative dimension in space.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Doctor Who Doctors.
Actually, I think we're very near the center now.
For this list, we've looked at every actor to step into the Doctor's shoes since the program began in 1963, and are ranking our favorites based on their overall popularity with fans.
You're the only one who knows anything about fighting Daleks.
Now, reverse the polarity of the neutron flow. Always remember that bow ties are cool, and when I say run, run. Allons-y.
Ah, who's this coming to welcome us?
Number 10, Colin Baker, the 6th Doctor.
You even managed to burn dinner last night.
Well, I have never said I was perfect.
With his showy costume and showier personality, the 6th incarnation of Doctor Who was a departure from his predecessors. Though he officially held the role for 3 series, Baker's on-screen time as the Doctor was decidedly short, but certainly memorable.
I shall go on regenerating until all my lives are spent.
Self-centered, arrogant, and condescending, even to his companions.
What do you mean?
The 6th Doctor was still the sympathetic and moral figure we know and love. Plus, he was a great lover of cats.
You've turned them into food?
Ironically, Baker's also remembered for another Doctor Who role. As Commander Maxwell, he actually shot his predecessor, Peter Davison.
There's no need for all the firepower.
They have orders to kill at the slightest sign of resistance.
Number 9, John Pertwee, the 3rd Doctor.
All right. I suppose you want to see my pass. Yes, well, I haven't got one, and I'm not going to tell you my name either. Now, you just tell Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart that I want to see him. Well, don't just stand there arguing with me, man. Get on with it.
Charismatic, elegant, and with an unparalleled scientific mind, Pertwee's was a transformative casting.
I can't have changed that much.
He was a much more expressive, outwardly zany, and action-oriented Doctor than the 2 versions that he followed.
You're not proposing to dismantle a piece of equipment worth 15 million pounds with a screwdriver.
Well, it's not worth 15 million pins if it doesn't work, is it?
He had a fondness for velvet, ruffles, and he favored the cravat. Plus, the blood-red lining to his signature cape really took off. After 5 series, many of which he spent uncharacteristically exiled on Earth, Pertwee stepped down from his post for fear of typecasting. But to this day, he's remembered with fondness by all fans.
As an associate of UNIT, I think you will find that I have the authority to do precisely as I please.
Number 8, Sylvester McCoy, the 7th Doctor.
That's it for that. Ace. Whew. Nice of the happiness patrol to leave us in peace.
Following a wobble in the ratings, and amidst mounting pressure from fans, Sylvester McCoy was drafted as Doctor Number 7.
Excuse me, you wouldn't happen to have a spare automotive jack on you, would you?
For the first part of his tenure, he injected the show with comedy and craziness.
Do you like it?
But for the second part, he became darker, more dangerous, scheming, and secretive because fans felt that a funny Time Lord led to weaker storylines.
No, I'm sure I'll find something to interest me.
So, scriptwriters turned McCoy's Panama hat and questionable vest and umbrella into something more serious. However, it didn't save the show from cancellation in 1989.
Go on, go away, go on, shoot!
It is unwise to provoke the Daleks, Doctor.
However you respond is seen as an act of provocation. I know the Daleks of old.
Number 7, Peter Davison, the 5th Doctor.
And such a simple repair job.
Why didn't you do it sooner?
Well, you know how it is. You put things off for a day, next thing you know, it's 100 years later.
Coming up to bat at number 7 is Doctor Number 5. A physical change from the actor who came before him, Davison was kitted up for cricket. And could he play ball?
Quickly, let's get out of here.
His white jumper and cream coat were typically English and typically Time Lord.
Well, the instruments are still affected by turbulence, but I think it's 1984. London.
And the celery stalk on his lapel, quintessentially quirky. However, the actor also brought a sensitive side to the character. He had a little less eccentricity and a little more empathy.
Peace and quiet is just what the doctor ordered.
Bringing him closer than ever to the humanity he lived to save.
You've got to help me.
What happened?
Number 6, William Hartnell, the 1st Doctor.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go and have a look.
Over half a century ago, William Hartnell first grasped the controls of the legendary TARDIS, and time and space has never looked the same.
It's not clear. It's not clear at all.
Originating the character of the Gallifreyan time traveler, Hartnell's was an evolving, progressive Doctor, and one that was finding his feet both within time travel and on our television sets.
Take a look for yourselves.
Initially, he was quite somber and a little bit scary. He didn't really trust human beings, but eventually he mellowed and led the way for all who have followed.
I don't think they'll run into any trouble.
Number 5. Christopher Eccleston, the Ninth Doctor.
I'm the Doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
After a 16-year absence from episodic TV, there was great expectation placed on Eccleston's leather-clad shoulders, and ultimately, he exceeded them.
That makes sense. Well done.
Thanks.
The Ninth Doctor, but the first for a very long time. He reprised the role with aptitude and attitude.
Don't tell anyone about this, because if you do, you'll get them killed.
Helped along the way by his very popular sidekick, Rose Tyler.
I'm so glad I met you.
You too.
Eccleston destroys Daleks for a whole new generation.
Think of it. Plastic all over the world, every artificial thing waiting to come alive. The shop window dummies, the phones, the wires, the cables.
The breast implants.
His single season is one of the most significant and
fantastic
ever filmed.
I don't understand. In what way is this goodbye? Where are you going?
You'll see. In the shed.
Number 4. Patrick Troughton, the Second Doctor.
I think we've done rather well so far, haven't you?
His entrance into the TARDIS marked the Doctor's first regeneration, a nifty narrative invention to ensure that the show had longevity, and that future lists such as this one were possible.
Sausages! Man will just become like a string of sausages all the same.
Troughton was a very different prospect to Hartnell. Nicknamed the Cosmic Hobo, he had a scruffiness, a silliness, and a sketchiness about his persona that made the character his own. The BBC came under fire during Troughton's era for the show's excessive violence, but this Doctor was firm, fair, and a fan favorite.
Thank you very much. That's very civil of you.
Number 3. Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor.
Oh, hello, Amy. You all right? Want to watch some television? No, stay where you are.
When he burst onto the scene, bow-tie clad and bonkers, there were many naysayers. When his time came to an end, those same cynics were sobbing.
But nobody knows that, because no one can remember them.
Matt Smith's Doctor was a chirpy, chattering chap for whom mankind was really a strange thing. From Cybermen to spacemen, he fought many a foe, but he made some memorable friends as well.
Why are you pointing your screwdrivers like that? They're scientific instruments, not water pistols. Look like you've seen a ghost.
Effervescent and unconventional, the 11th Doctor is young-looking but old at heart. Passing on the role in 2013 to Peter Capaldi, Smith did so having more than made his mark.
So keep this straight in your head. We are not fighting an alien invasion. We're leading a revolution. And today the battle begins.
Number 2. Tom Baker, the 4th Doctor.
You are incorrect.
Then what is it? You've no home planet, no influence, nothing. You're just a pathetic bunch of tin soldiers skulking about the galaxy in an ancient spaceship.
You speak unwisely.
He boasts the longest reign of all, and an image that has stood the test of time.
How do you deduce that?
I just guessed.
Never guess.
Tom Baker's impractically long scarf is still a premier exhibit of the Doctor Who universe.
When am I going to get an explanation for all this?
Do you really feel up to an explanation?
I'll try.
Well, Adric, you explain.
His unpredictable nature has carried across time.
Gallifrey falls no more.
And his soft spot for humans set the precedent for those that followed.
I suppose we can't expect decent English from a machine.
Moral and offbeat as any incarnation, Baker's was a sometimes gloomy, serious, or unfeeling depiction.
The matter is of no interest to you.
Everything's of interest to me.
In Sarah Jane Smith, he found an iconic companion. In K9, he found the Doctor's first pet. He's a true Gallifreyan great.
This is pretty well solid gold.
Number 1. David Tennant, the 10th Doctor.
Doctor!
Hello, sorry, bit of a rush. There's a sort of thing happening. Very important that we stop it.
Oh my God, it's you.
Oh yes, the Doctor's known for odd wardrobe choices, and a suit and Converse sneakers are certainly that. But David Tennant nailed the shoes, and he's nailed first place with his chatty, cheeky, and vulnerable personality.
What's that?
is a machine that goes ding. Made it myself. Lights up in the presence of shapeshifted DNA. Ooh. Also can microwave frozen dinners from up to 20 feet and download comics from the future. I never know when to stop.
Steering the show through a golden age, his reign included an unprecedented 2 regenerations, and aren't we glad of it?
Why do you say that?
With hair that's just crazy and eyes that are just kooky, the girls wanted to date him and the boys felt like they could be him. Almost.
Now that sounds like Torchwood.
Still a good plan.
He's the best of the last of the Time Lords and our #1.
Sorry, I've got a bit of a complex life. Things don't always happen to me in quite the right order. It gets a bit confusing at times.
Do you agree with our list?
Doctor, the column moved.
Which Time Lord did we forget?
Frozen instants in time. Bigger on the inside.
For more fantastical top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Right, Doctor.
Off you go. And don't stop the big daisies on the way.